Well, the former Chancellor Rishi Sunak remains the front-runner among fellow Conservative MPs, and one of those who's throwing their weight behind him is Claire Coutinho. Ms. Coutinho, thanks so much for joining us this morning. So how do you think he did?
I thought he did very well, to be honest. I mean, he had one of the hardest messages that he was saying to people. He wanted to be very honest about what was happening in the economy. But really, I think that Rishi Sunak was the person who looked like he was the one who could be Prime Minister in a few weeks. He had an incredibly impressive command of the detail. He also, I thought, had a clear plan for the future, and particularly to deal with inflation, which I think is our #1 problem at the moment. And most importantly, I think he was the one who wanted to be honest with people and say, these are the challenges that are ahead and this is what we need to do to fix them.
Why couldn't he answer the question? It was a yes or no question about Boris Johnson's honesty.
Well, I think he did answer that question. He said that when he resigned, honesty and trust was part of that. And I think, the truth is that for all MPs, we will feel that, Boris Johnson, for a lot of people, was the person who delivered Brexit. I think for a lot of people in the country, that was a ability to deliver something that was part of their connection to him. And obviously, in the last few months, there have been other challenges and things which have happened, which meant other people have felt that he's not honest. So it's not, I think, very easy to have black and white answers to these questions. But the truth is, a number of people resigned from government last week, and Rishi Sunak was one of them.
But he couldn't say Boris Johnson was honest. So do you think he's honest about that? And why couldn't he just say no to that question if that's what he thinks?
Well, I think he was very honest about that. He talked about the fact that he resigned. I think resigning was a principled position. He set out exactly why he did that in his letter. And as I've explained, and Rishi has said in this campaign, I don't think anyone should completely denigrate what Boris Johnson has done over the last couple of years. He did deliver Brexit. He did very well with the things like the vaccine rollout. And I don't think it's right to completely trash someone's reputation. But at the same time, when honesty and trust in politics had become a challenge, he did take that difficult decision and he did resign. And actually, one of the central tenets of his campaign at the moment is to restore trust.
So, as you're saying, his pitch is clearly about being honest about the challenges, right, that we face. But do you think he needs something a bit more optimistic to win with the members? Don't they want a big Britain idea or big Britain ideas to really resonate with the members?
Well, I mean, firstly, I don't think that the members are that different from the British public. I think what people want is a politician who will tell them the facts as they are and who also has a realistic plan to deal with the challenges that are ahead. I don't think anyone that I speak to, and I speak to lots of my constituents all of the time, is thinking that this isn't a difficult time for the country. Everyone can see what inflation is doing to their income. Everyone can feel the pinch. And actually, what they want is someone who can explain to them what is happening and what their plan is to make sure that inflation doesn't get out of control. And that's exactly what Rishi is doing. And to be honest, I thought he was one of the only people who was doing that last night, and I think that's why people responded to him. It wasn't the easiest message there on that stage, but he talked about not wanting to, create fairy tales. He talked about wanting to be honest about what the situation was, and actually, I thought people responded to that very well.
Did they respond to him? Because his polling with members is dire.
Well, I don't actually think that you can look at every single poll. When I've talked to members, people are very positive about him. They see him as a very trusted, decent person. He's clearly, very intelligent. He's got great command of detail. And if you look at some of the things that he's done over the last couple of years, things like the furlough scheme, things like the cost of living package, I think you can see what kind of politician he is.
So you wouldn't be concerned then if he was up against Penny Mordaunt, if you say we shouldn't look at the polls?
Well, I mean, he talked last night, and I agree with this, that I think it's quite commendable for the Tory party to have so many great candidates in the race. I think he'd welcome whoever he was up against to have that debate.
Who do you want to see in the final two?
Well, I'm not going to get into who should be in the final two because I think they are all good candidates. I just think that Rishi Sunak is the best candidate. And I think if you watched the debate last night, I would urge everyone to go and watch that debate. I think it is good that we have these robust debates about the economy and about the future of the country. But I thought he really did stand out heads and shoulders as the person who had the clearest plan. And I think that's what will come out no matter who is the other person that he's up against.
OK, Claire Coutinho, thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.